What was it like to see Kobe Young have a game like that?
It was great, and it was. I'm so happy for him because it's a long ride, and I've got 6 guys on that bench that can play, and they're all getting better, and that's the challenge for me. But the challenge for them, and what you saw tonight was a result of the way they practiced the last 2 days. I have to make some tough decisions as a head coach. I'm not keeping 11 guys happy. That's not my job. I talked about it with Mo, how he came out with such a great attitude and he's earned minutes. Well, it's a competition, and that's what we want. And so to answer your thoughts or questions of why the rotation was the way it was, it's the way they practice. But I also think you're going to see this as these guys, if I had 11 guys practice perfectly and we're really improving, and it's still going to be tough decisions. I'm not playing 11 guys. It's hard to do. So my rotation in the end will be 8 or 9. But I think with this team, it might be a little different where that might rotate. And it might depend on matchups. It might depend on injuries. It might depend on the other team a little bit. And then I have to make some calls of how they practice. And, I also reward the guys that can keep fighting and that can practice well. And so, that's the culture we have. That's the only way to get better, is to be coachable and to show up at practice and work your tail off. And you don't know when your chance is going to come. But I do know this: if you don't do that, your chance isn't going to come. So that I was really, really happy for Kobe because I know he's going to be a great player. I know it. You just don't, it's, I think I said this yesterday, it's infinite patience produces immediate results, and I have to keep patient with all these guys because I know how good they're going to be. But, Kobe went out and had immediate results with it today. And so proud of him and happy for him. He's deserving.
He said this week in practice, he finally bought into, what you guys as coaches had been talking about.
Well, good for him after a year and a half.
What were those things that you needed to see him buy into?
I think he maybe misworded that because Kobe is not doing it because he doesn't buy in.
Yeah.
Basketball is a game of habits, and it's just developing those habits that translate to what we do, and his habits are getting better and better, and so it wasn't, Kobe, he's not buying in. But that being said, yeah, you're right. You got to be all in, and you got to take the bull by the horns. We're not going to drag you to go do extra workouts. We're not going to, that. So yeah, you're right. There is it took Chandler 2 years to buy into that. So guys are going to do it different speeds, but when they do, then they see the rewards of it. So yeah, he does need to get. Maybe that's true. Maybe he hadn't bought in 100%, but when they do, and when we don't have to ask them to come to the gym or even suggest it, and when they are grabbing us and say, let's go work out, that's when you have something special.
Kobe Young has a pretty versatile background. You did track, you played football. What stood out to you when you were recruiting him?
I like guys that play multiple sports. I do because, he had one of the best high school football coaches in the country, Steve Graff, and his years with Graff made him tougher. Because when he first started playing with Graff, he wasn't tough enough. And that's why we didn't offer him early. But and he had a great basketball coach in Chad Herron, who I've known since 1987. I coached his brother, and Chad made him tougher. So those guys that but he got exposed to a lot of really good coaches. Chad, like I said, is a terrific basketball coach. Taught him a ton about basketball. And I think Graff taught him a ton about toughness, and because that's kind of his MO. But he should be thankful for the great coaching he had because it got him to where he is today. And it's great to hear that he's buying in now because the sky's the limit for Kobe. You guys saw a peek into his athleticism, and the only mistakes he made were really inexperienced mistakes, where he fouled a three-point shooter at the end of a shot clock. He, got back cut off a play that we'd went over a ton of times, and just little things that he's going to solve by being out there more.
Yeah,
we talked so much about the schedule, and you said you couldn't play a lot of these guys early.
Yeah.
We had the EOU game, and we saw, what Mo did, and he carried that over to St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, to have some of these games here where you're able to get some of these guys some more minutes, so is that nice to finally have that opportunity?
It's huge. It's huge. And I did it without sacrificing anything. Those guys went in and held the rope. They did their jobs. I mean, we had an 11-minute stretch to start that second half. They had 2 points. And our guys take so much pride in defense that the guys that came out of the game were telling the guys that were in the game, keep that going. Let's go. We got a great half going. And, they ended up getting 22 points, but, they got 20 of it in the last 9 minutes. So great effort by those guys to set the tone in that second half, which enabled us to get everybody great minutes tonight. And that is valuable because I think I've said it over and over again, is the key to this team is the development of all these guys. Not just I've talked about the 6 that are kind of coming off the bench, but the development of the guys that start too. We're making Najee better. We're making Max better. We're making Chase. Jace is doing great things. He looked like a heck of a point guard tonight. And, so that's the key is this team. We've got momentum as far as getting better, and we just got to, now it becomes more difficult to get better, and those guys understand that. And, I think we did that on the boards tonight too. We went after them.
We talked to Burke Smith tonight too, and he's another guy that doesn't get to play a whole
Yeah.
lot. And I know he hit a 3 obviously and had the dunk. I mean, he's obviously a long way from home, and some guys might have said, "I'm out of here, I'm not playing," or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to this point, obviously stick it out and finally get a chance to play and produce a little bit. How nice was that to see?
Terrific, because Burke, you saw his skill, and I'm trying to get him to use that skill. Shoot it. I want you to shoot it. Shoot it. Should be a face-up guy because you can be a change of pace guy for us, and he can really shoot. Burke's scratching the surface of how good he can be. If he gets belief in himself and becomes really aggressive, a little nasty, then he can be a good player. And but he's an awesome teammate, a great kid, shows up every day, does whatever the team needs. He's a valuable piece of this team. And so I love the fact that he got in and got a nice run tonight and did some good things. Went and got 4 rebounds and 5 points, 1 for 2 from 3, and I thought both of them were good.
You talked before about just the joy of basketball, and it seems
Yeah.
like we saw a lot of that out there tonight. My favorite part was probably when Najee Smith fell to the ground after the dunk and got resuscitated by Dagan Hart.
Oh, I didn't
But
see
how
that.
much joy are you seeing in these guys and in this 8-0 run?
That I love that. That is great. Because when you're down one of the best players in the conference, so that usually makes a coach a little uptight, no matter what. And every game's important, and every game's we came off a big win Saturday, and this game came quickly, and there was a lot to be done in those 2 days to get ready, and so you got a quick turnaround without one of the best players in the league, and so you don't want to lose that joy because of you're trying to keep getting better, and so there's a fine line. I want to keep pushing these guys, but we get better because we do play with joy, and we enjoy practice. We enjoy each other. I got great guys. You've heard me say that over and over. High character guys that love to play basketball, and so I don't want to ever take that out of them. I want to build on that. So that's great that you're seeing that, because that's what we want in our program.
What is the level of concern with Marcus?
I'm always really concerned because he's so important for this team, and we'll just do what we have to do, and it's just day by day. And he was courageous to play at St. Louis. He wanted to play. It wasn't, and then but he was hurting, and then you got to fly a lot. You're flying forever both ways, and that doesn't help. But we'll just take it one day at a time and see where it's at, and he'll be back. I know that. It's just when and how quickly, and I don't want to. It's a fine line too, because when you're dealing with a guy like Marcus, he wants to be out there, and so you never know how honest he's being about the level that he's feeling, and I think that was the case maybe going to St. Louis. He wanted to play in that game, but it probably set him back a little bit. So, but we probably don't win that game without him either. So He's a tough kid, man. He doesn't get the credit for how tough he is, throwing his body around and the stuff that happens to him in there. And he knows. I mean, these guys don't want to sit, and I don't want them to sit. You know, I'm not doing this out of, you know, but I think there is a part of that with him where like, I'll do whatever I have to do to play against St. Louis. And then that caused him not to be able to practice yesterday, which caused him not to be able to play today. But we'll just take it one day at a time. The good thing is we got a couple days. We'll see where it goes in the next couple days.
After the CSUN game, you said you wanted to see your guys get a little bit more physical out there. When they rebounded well, got to the free throw line a lot. Is that encouraging to see?
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's our signature of our program. And you know, we out-rebounded the team by 24 and got, you know, doubled them on the glass. That's hard to do. And, you know, especially we shot a great percentage, so we didn't miss that many shots, and we got 9 offensive rebounds. And so, yeah, we're coming along. We're making progress in everything. And you know, I'll have to look at the film, but it seems like we made progress on the glass tonight.
I mean, you had almost as many bench points as you did points from your starters. I mean, is that something,
Huge.
probably something a few weeks ago you would have envisioned happening?
Yeah, I mean, we had games where we had 0 off the bench. So that's huge. And you know, I said that's a big key to our season. And so for that development to be coming, credit to my staff, credit to these guys for buying in. So, and sticking with it, that's hard. You know, these are young kids, and Kobe sat out all last year and wants to play, and, you know, but it's college athletics and it's hard to play at this level. And when they learn that, and when they learn how to grind and invest in themselves and have a discipline to do it every day, then they get rewarded.
What do you think of Kobe's dunk off the alley-oop?
He's a tremendous athlete. I mean, that's why, I mean, I know, because he's a smart kid, and the sky's the limit for Kobe. You know, I've always said that. We're going to look up someday and people are going to be like, where did they get Kobe Young? You know, and you just saw a glimpse of it today. But if he buys into it, like he said, and if he keeps working and really, really, really wants to be a player, he could be special.
I know you mentioned multiple sports. I mean, if he had decided to go 100% on football, could he have been a...
Yes. I mean, any guy that runs 100 like that, and because that's the funny thing. You take a basketball player, put him on the football field, he's going to look huge. You know, the guy's 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, with that
I mean,
leaping ability.
yeah, no, he could. Yeah, let's not talk too much about that, because that.
Don't give anybody any ideas.
Yeah, don't give any ideas there. But he's playing, you know. But no, when I watched him, you know, because I'm from that area, I watched him play football, and I was like, whoa, scored against the Bombers. You're really good if you can score against the Bombers.